Okay, let's work through the golden standard here. Golden standard 9.2 to review for your retake. So, start here with this triangular prism. We're going to do the front side together, and then you can run on the back side by yourself. For the front side, to find the volume, here, the volume is what? It's base area times the height. Okay? So, first of all, what's the base? The base area is this triangle down here at the bottom. All right, it is that triangle. The bases of a prism are the opposite congruent ends. What is the height? The height then is the distance between the triangles, so it looks like that. So how do you find the area of the base? Well, the base shape is this triangle. It looks like this. There's a right angle right here. This side is 12, this is 15. To find the area of that triangle, we need the base and height. Do we have it? We got the height, not the base. So we need to solve for that length right there. All right, so x squared plus 12 squared, leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. X squared plus 144 equals 225. Take away 144. You're going to get, sorry, it's a little crunched, 81. Final step, square root, so x equals 9. All we did there was the Pythagorean theorem to find that this length right here is 9. This length is 9. Now we have what we need to find the area of that triangle. What's the area of that triangle? Base times height divided by 2. We're going to multiply that by the height of the entire prism, 28. So 9 times 12 divided by 2 is 54. We're going to multiply that times that height of 28 to get a total volume of 1,512. So our volume, 1,512 cubic units. All right. Next, for surface area. First step, let's start by drawing that right triangle on the top, like that one right there. Then we're going to connect it with heights down, there's a rectangle. And then we're going to draw our other triangle, but it is folded out like that. Here's the right angles. Well, we know the hypotenuse right here is 15. So the hypotenuse of these two triangles is 15. Now there's the 9 and the 12. Where do they go? It doesn't really matter which one goes where as long as you're consistent. All right? Because 9 is in the front, I'm going to put 9 here, which means 9 has to go here. Then the 12 is the last leg of the triangle. Now, how many of these rectangles are there? There's the one in front, this one off to the side, and then the big one in the back. They are all different sizes. How long are they? Well, the height here is 28. The distance between them is always 28. And then this length is 9. This length right here, as it folds up, is going to fold up with this 12. So this length right here must also be 12 because it matches up here. In the same way, this length must be the same as this length. They are going to fold up and match. So this must also be 15. So how do we find the area of each one of these pieces? Well, we know the area of the base. 9 times 12 divided by 2 is 54. 54, 54. Then, how do we find the area of these rectangles? 15 times 28 is 420. Again, that's 15 times 28. 9 times 28 is 252. And 12 times 28 is 336. To find our surface area, we add those all up. 420 plus 252 plus 336 plus 54 plus 54 to get 1,116 square units. All right, that is a triangular prism. Now, you might get a triangular prism, you might get a cylinder. We need to be prepared for both. So, how do we do a cylinder? Well, same thing for the volume. It's the base area times the height. Times the height. Turns out the height is the distance between the bases, which are these circles. How do you find the area of that base? It's a circle, so the area of the base is pi times the radius squared times our height of 18. So our base area 3 squared is 9, 3 times 3, so 9 pi times 18. Now, you could either leave your answer, 9 times 18 is 162 pi, or make it a decimal, and that's the same as 508.94. So you could leave your answer as either 162 pi or 508.94. Either one. All right, and then surface area. How do we find the surface area? Always, always draw the net. So I'm going to draw my circles. With, between them, the cylinder unwraps to form this rectangle. All right. Now, I know the area of a circle is 9 pi. I know that area is 9 pi. Those are both 9 pi. I got that from back here. Pi times the radius squared gives me the area of the circle. I know my height, the distance between the circles, is 18. That comes from right here. Now, what is this length? This is the circumference of the circle. It unwraps around the circle. So our circumference is 2 times pi times the radius, which is 6 pi, which is also equal to 18.85. So the area of this rectangle is 18.85 times 18, which equals 339.3. So to get my total area, I add up 9 pi plus 9 pi plus 339.3 to get a total of 395.84 square units. All right, go try the backside to prepare for your golden standard retake. Good luck.